I'm Tehani. I'm 30 something. And I have three little ones, although two of them are not so little. 13, 15, and 5. Going on our third year. Almost our fourth year. Moved to Prosper now.
Hello, I'm Bessie, motivated mom and moved to Prosper. 35 years old. I have two boys, ages 12 and 8. And yes, we're into our third year. The pandemic has been a huge change for my family personally. I had job loss, loss of wages. I've always tried to hold two jobs, but toward the beginning of the pandemic in April, I lost my primary job. So luckily I had a second job to fall back on, but there's still that loss of income and, just blows your budget out the water. So major changes.
I was kind of in a similar situation to Bessie. I lost a job in November. Thankfully, I got the first 6 months out of the way. Went to work from home. The kids went remote at school, so we got 4 of us in the house. Luckily, at first, while I was working, Bug was still in daycare, but everybody else was home for, March through November? We're all home all the time, so you can imagine. I'd have to say yes. My coach was absolutely instrumental in finding me a new job and continuing to not only mentor me, but give me tips and feedback that I may or may not have wanted. She doesn't hold me accountable. She makes me hold myself accountable, which is probably the best thing as I'm leaving this program. And there won't always be that third party to hold me accountable for things.
I have to agree with you there. As far as accountability, my coach has held me accountable. As moms, at times we wonder, are we doing it right? And it's so easy to get discouraged, which, during the pandemic, losing your job, I was like, oh gosh, this is it. This is it. I quit. Thank goodness with losing my job, I never had a budget before, but I sat down with one of our finance coaches and was able to develop a budget, which allowed me to stay afloat. I had a nice little emergency fund set up that got me through maybe the first 4 months of the pandemic until I could get everything figured out. So very grateful for that guidance and coaching. Retail therapy was my thing, so budget, what's that? So super thankful to have had that emergency fund set up. Coming from the former school district that we were at, my oldest son struggled majorly with different behavioral issues and things like that. We were blessed with the new school district for them to pinpoint his problems, and my son is now flourishing. I feel like if we had not made that move, he would be another lost, push along, get him on out of here child. This new school district took the time to learn my son, figure out that there was a problem, correct that problem, and they did it with love. Nothing but love, care, and concern. And I have an entirely different child. Before it's like, we're going to war because we need to read a book. Now it's like, hey mom, come on now. Last night we did a whole group read with questions and answers. And they're like, okay, what are we reading tomorrow, for our group read. So I'm very, very grateful above all things the changes I've seen in my children.
When we went remote permanently and the kids are having to do their gym outside, for an hour, etc. And I'm working full time. So I'm working sometimes 8 to 6, 8 to 7. At first, I couldn't be out there with them. And in our apartment prior, we had drug dealers outside. And there was a murder not even 2 blocks away. They wouldn't have got their schoolwork done. There would have been no way because I had to work. And, if it comes down to them doing PE for an hour or me missing a meeting, well, they're going to miss PE and then it's going to be an issue. All of the women, though, I think, have changed a little bit.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So I think it's great what we're doing here as moms, as people, as caregivers, and whatever else we make ourselves in a day.
Right. Straight up from surviving to thriving now. So I can say that for all of us.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so too.